So YouTube is now eliminating public dislikes. Take a look at this. Earlier this year, we launched an experiment making the dislike count private. Based on what we learned, the dislike button is staying, but the count is now private to creators in Studio to help prevent targeted dislike attacks. All right, let's take a look at the next one. We know not everyone will agree with this decision, but we believe it's the right thing to do to make YouTube safe or safer for creators to express themselves. To learn more about how we reach this decision, check out the blog or watch YouTube Liaison's video, and then underneath you see, I wasn't supportive of this change until I saw the stories from lots of new and small creators trying to make it. Let's give them a better chance. I explain in this video. All right, let's talk about this. Here's the real reason why they're doing it. They want to protect oversensitive elitists. They want to protect the CNNs of the world. They want to protect their own propaganda. Remember there was the YouTube special with Kamala Harris and talking to kids, and by the way, it came out, all of them were actors. They were all actors. They want to protect powerful people who want to use YouTube to push out a message. The Fauci documentary, there was a trailer on that on YouTube. It got like over 95% dislikes. What they are doing is coddling elites, coddling the powerful, because it turns out we live in a populist anti-establishment era, and the people are not too fond of the elites. And so one of the ways they express that discontent in what's supposed to be a pretty democratic and open platform like YouTube is they go, boop, I don't like this. Now they say, oh, it's targeted attacks and harassment. So what? The natural state of nature is that everybody's supposed to have 100% like rate on everything they do? Targeted attack and harassment. Why doesn't it work the other way? It's a targeted PR campaign when any video has upvotes. We see through, this has nothing to do with small creators. By the way, I've been on YouTube full time since like 2012. You know what happens if you if you think some of the feedback you're getting is excessive or not correct or whatever? You know what you do? Don't look at it. That's it. It's on you, son. Just like it's on me. You know, there was a time when I read all the comments and looked at all the likes and dislikes and looked at the reaction. And look, overall, even though I thought I had a thick skin, I'm probably a relatively sensitive dude. And you see a couple of comments that you think are unfair criticisms. And then what happens is you're a human. I hit my capacity very quickly for the amount of that I can take. So if I see 2 or 3 of those comments, like, okay, I'm done for the day. Because you don't want to ruin the rest of your day because some schmuck was being unfair against you. But it's on me. I don't run to YouTube and say, please, ban everybody who doesn't say nice things about me. Take away the dislikes publicly. By the way, there's also practical implications to this too. I don't know about you guys, but whenever I have a technical problem, or let's say I have a product and I can't find the manual to figure out how it works, you go to YouTube and you say a tutorial on how to do X, Y, or Z, or how to, put together this piece of furniture or whatever it is. And there's always something there and you can watch it. And if you happen to click a video where the title says this is what it's for, and then they give like a bad explanation or the thing doesn't work, you can tell by the dislikes that, oh, this is not a good video. Let me go right to the next one. Now you're gonna have to watch the shitty ones. There are practical reasons to have it there too. No, come on, it's just the dumbest thing I've ever heard. And we split the difference. You could still see the dislikes on the back end. I want to see them on the fucking front end. Now, it's a fair point to turn around and say, well, Kyle, Twitter doesn't have dislikes and you like Twitter. True, but they started it was like that from the beginning. You can't give people this extra sense of an open platform and democracy and then take it away. You can't do that. You're just becoming a more closed platform. And look, that's what happened to YouTube. You all know this. We've talked about this 1,000 times on this show, but there was a time when the whole point was, this is where you go if you're an outsider. This is where you go to have a voice that is not reflected in the mainstream of society. And that's why a lot of content creators with alternative viewpoints got big on YouTube. We're, alternative media. We're independent media. This is where we can be heard. But of course, over time, the platform got too big. It got too powerful according to the already established order. And so what do? It all started when mainstream media ran some fear-mongering article saying, oh, naughty ads are running on YouTube channels. Here, look, this is a bigoted YouTube channel, and they had a Nestle ad run before it. So what did YouTube do? Oh my God, panic, defund all of news and politics. And that was Adpocalypse. So creators like myself, or David Pakman, or many others, all of a sudden, overnight, all of our funding was gone. And it was gone. I forget how long it lasted, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days. It was terrifying. And that's when we launched the Patreon for this show. That's when I told you guys, I can never again trust YouTube because any second they just pull the rug out from underneath us. And so you guys came and saved the day on Patreon, by the way, patreon.com/seculartalk. We still have it and we still need it. That's still, the best way to fund the show, just like we do with Crystal Kyle and Friends on Substack, where you guys pay $5 a month. We don't take any ad money for Crystal Kyle and Friends. You pay $5 a month and you get the video a day early and you get the newsletters. And people still can hear the audio for free, but that's just the audio and it comes out a day later. It made us realize this platform is not democratic. It's not open. It's not free. It was for a while, but then eventually it hit a point where it was too big and too powerful to be ignored. And so then the smears came against the platform, and the platform overreacted, and now they've become a caricature of themselves. And YouTube is a shadow of what it used to be. So now we're at the point where even the algorithm is biased. Forget Adpocalypse. Now we're talking about the algorithm is biased. So they rolled out these changes where now we only promote authoritative news sources. Well, what does that mean? I mean, CNN, MSNBC, Fox News. Well, CNN, MSNBC, and Fox News get shit wrong all the time. They advocated for every single war in the modern era. And all of those wars were wrong. And they just spread the Pentagon propaganda like nobody's business. Russiagate, they were dead wrong on Russiagate. The list goes on and on. So they get to push out false narratives, say untrue things. There's no punishment for them whatsoever. And then on this show, I stand by my track record of getting things right, and we get deranked in the algorithm. And so when you're prioritizing authoritative news sources, what that means is you're always going to get fed in, the recommended box or on the homepage. You're going to get fed CNN, MSNBC, Fox News. And even if you're like I'm more of an outsider. Well, YouTube goes, oh, okay, we'll give you a little more outsider stuff. So what'll they show you? Trevor Noah, John Oliver, the pre-approved, oh, this is the edgy outsider stuff. The real outsiders like myself, you were fighting an uphill battle. I got two hands tied behind my back. We used to, are you kidding me? The way it worked on YouTube is you'd have exponential growth. Once you hit a certain point, you grow really fast because so many people already watch your videos, so they share it with new people all the time. And so you grow 40,000, 50,000, 60,000 subs a month. That was standard back in the day. Now, totally ground to a halt. Nothing. Now, look, that is a gigantic overreach on the part of YouTube. You say, oh, let's reel it in 50%. Even that's unfair, but at least then there would still be sub growth. Now there's just not. And by the way, it's not just me, because some of you will no doubt watch this and say, well, it's just Kyle's falling off his game or this or that or whatever. It's not just me. Virtually everybody who's in this space has seen a massive cutback on new sub growth and views. And I think there's a hierarchy. I really think there's a hierarchy. I think that, and now this part's all speculation, and the YouTube rep I work with, who's a great person, who I love very much, very nice person, I don't even think they tell the YouTube reps everything. I think they keep them in the dark. They swear up and down, no, it's not like that. Look, I've been doing this for nearly a decade. I know how it used to be, and I know how it is now. And I know that the policies change because they fucking announced it when the policies changed. So I think there's a hierarchy. I think you could be like tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, tier 4, tier 5, tier 6, tier 7. I think it's a bunch of them. And for a show like mine, we're definitely in like the bottom half of the tiers and we get screwed. So this is just another way in which they're making YouTube less open, less free, less committed to alternative viewpoints. And it makes it worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. And unfortunately, listen, people can say, oh, well, then try this other platform or that other platform. It's so established and it's so big and it's the central place and it's been like that for so long that it's not feasible to just start ground up on something else. It's not. It's just not. So what the real answer is, in my opinion at least, is whether it's Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, or any other giant social media platform, what you need to do is regulate them like public utilities. Expand First Amendment protections so that, they can't just arbitrarily ban people based on a whim. And, you still can't do direct threats of violence. You still can't do anything like that, but you would lean much more heavily on the side of free speech. There was a new bill proposed, something about tweaking the algorithm to make it more fair, make it more based on merit. I totally agree with that because I'll tell you what, in a system that was based on merit, Wolf Blitzer would not be on a YouTube channel that has millions of subscribers and gets hundreds of thousands or millions of views. It just wouldn't be. If it was a fair fight, we'd be running laps around that motherfucker, and everybody knows that. So there are things that you can do to fix it that are outside of the silly so-called free market solution of like, just build another platform from scratch. No, let's fix the policies of the thing that we have in front of us right now. Let's adjust the way it's done. But unfortunately, they're not going to do it on their own. That's for damn sure, because they keep going further and further and further in the wrong direction.